this second try. The second try. We get it. So I'm actually using Fargo to do my music, but earlier I took the sound off because it just works better with Chrome. Maybe you're having that problem with your system. Maybe you're not, but I am. Maybe you can help me out. But let's go ahead and be ourselves. How about that? It makes sense that there's a time to just go ahead and be yourself. I'm getting it right. Can you hear that? Yes. There's the music, Rich. Got it this time. See if my duck buttons work. There it is. We duck the sound. Tap the button again. Bring the music back up. Sing Floetry. Here we go. You can do what you want to do. Go ahead, be yourself. Automatic camera switching from Ecamm, ladies and gentlemen. Set it, forget it. Let it do the work. Go ahead and do what you gotta do. Yep, just a little bit of music. Let's get the duck on. You like that, right? Okay. It's just you got to do all of this through the Stream Deck with Fargo, and it's actually working. Yep. Pull the music up, hit one button, duck it. Yes, it's a hack. You can do what you want to do. Go ahead, be yourself. That's it. Be yourself. You can do what you gotta do. Go ahead and do what you gotta do. Alright, while she's rapping, cut her down. A little bit of music going on in the background. Nonetheless, but she's rapping, so I'm gonna have to stop her. I think that's number 3. Music stop. Got. So let's just put on the music bed. This should work right here. A little bit of guitar in the background. Now, to what we did last week, and that's what I said, let's continue. If you're out there and you got tech questions, drop them. I'm only here for a few seconds, for a few minutes. I did some research, and guess what I'm about to do? I think I'm gonna try that deck link thing because I need to do it for a client. And I'm curious to see if anybody can show us how Ecamm sees those cameras. Another thing I'm thinking about is I don't know why everybody's having cam link problems. I would love to get to the bottom of it and find out what is the combination, because we just can't figure this thing out. All I know is I will not sit back and just be in my space of feeling good because I can get 7 of these darn things working, and I know that people are still struggling with 1 and 2. And again, what we figured out, there's no perfect combination with this. A lot of times we jump in and make it like we have the perfect combination. It's the combination that works for you, that when iron sharpens iron, we can help one another out and figure out what the problem is, because this is a community of creativity, of creatives. And the one thing that's great is, like my theme song was saying, do what you got to do. Go ahead and be yourself. All right. This camera switching is something that we were doing 2 years ago. COVID was just in, and we had to present from this home space. I see that. I think that's Bishop Oliver. Yes. And we had to do that from our space at home. And so when we had to do that from our space at home, how do we make this like a live broadcast? What do we do? And what we did was we used the power of Ecamm to do it. And we find ways to manipulate it to get done what we want to get done. And then eventually, what I like about the twins is they figure out a way to make it work and embed it into the very product that you love. The product that allows you to be you, allows you to figure stuff out, right? And then present yourself as your best self. Well, one of the things that really made the community were people that really cared and that were in to help one another out. Not put people down, not say, oh, I'm better than somebody, but just to help out, to show, okay, here's some ideas and stuff that you could use. There we go. Bishop, you passing through. Always good to see you. Blessings to you and your family. Likewise, for sure. Ecamm. Ecamm. I like that. Look at this. Bishop Oliver, you dropped it there, Ecamm. I like it. I'm trying to figure out where's the space where we help one another again, where we kind of go live and you help people in the community. They help you to critique. You learn to chew the meat, spit out the bones. Of course, we go through the people that try to make you do exactly what they do, and then people that help you to find your best you. That's what I like to do. Help you find your best you. A couple of things that we like. There's some standards. There's what I call CLEAR, CLEAR. That's camera, lights, Ecamm, audio. And then there's the recording that you present, right? All of those things go together, and how we get there, each person has their own way to it, but we all need help in getting there. So camera. Let me just say something. This is the Keith Pelzer version. Yes, Ecamm can work with the cameras, anything you throw into it, but unless you're sold on you have to have a webcam, this is where you step up and you get into buy it right or buy it twice, right? There are options. I like to keep repeating this because people come in new, and it's kind of like in the faith, whatever your religion is in your faith, you have newbies to it. And so the message of the newness never changes. And I think we almost got away from that with Ecamm. We assume that new Ecammites, right, that come in to the the streaming faith, right, of the Ecamm software, that everybody is a bishop, an apostle, a rabbi, or something like that. And people are just coming in. What must I do to just stream through Ecamm? Likewise, there's some people that come in, they try to do everything at one time. You don't want to do it all at one time. Take your time, get your feet wet. Take it one piece at a time, and don't feel bad to figure out your ground up, right? This is not a discipline of put down or anything, but it's find your ground up, right? And so once you take that leap, listen what's happening with me. I get people that say, I like that, the way you go live and stuff. And I tell them, and then when I send them the link, they get the link and they say, I'm gonna try the cheap version. Okay, I'm about to make a crazy proposal. I think, and y'all can tell me your feelings on this, I think what Ken and Glenn may need to do is make an Ecamm Classic. In other words, an Ecamm Classic is probably what basic Ecamm is, but call it Ecamm Classic, right? Like Lightroom Classic. And what that literally means is that it basically dumbs it down to simple functions. Push button, go live, boom. And then when people decide you want the more, right? Got it. Now here's your more. But you have to decide for the more rather than just jump in at the more and then get stuck and can't do the basics of why you got into the family in the first place. It is still the best, most creative software. And that is coming from a Grammy Award winning producer to say that I learned how to take equipment that most people didn't see the value in it and figure out how to do that thing. And this is on the level of getting to do that thing, and it can do everything, right? It can do everything. And then we have to exercise patience for whatever it doesn't have. Okay, I know this is really helping somebody. I didn't plan this. I just felt it, as I say, in my spirit to say it, because I know some people need it. They need the encouragement. And here's what we want to do for iron sharpening iron. Get it done. Be confident in how you do it and get it done, right? And then be the influence and not the dictator of how everybody else should do it. I think somebody needed to hear that tonight. Be the influencer and not the dictator. And then when you have influence and people like what you do, don't assume that they have to get it and do it exactly like you. And then you got to be honest enough with them to say, hey, you're not going to do it like me. So this is what I do, but here's how we can help you be the best you. And there is the baseline of how dope Ecamm is, how great it is. There's features in Ecamm I have yet to even use. And you know why? Because I don't need it. I just don't need it. I'm not scared of it. It's just, I don't need it. Could it make things better? Yeah, but better is relative depending on what you need it for. Okay. So somebody put up clear. I see it. I like it. And that is one of those things. Keep it clear. Clear equals camera, lights, Ecamm, audio. Then there's your recording. So you keep it clear, take your time, and do you with the tools. Okay, thank you, Bishop Oliver. I really appreciate that. And that is a Keith Pelzer motto there about let's be clear. So shout out to my brother James Hicks. I was on with him earlier today and we were talking about it, and he has the official Tina trigger on let's be clear. And to be clear is to understand what works for you, catch the momentum of what it is that you need to do. I'm here. How can I help you? If I'm here for just about 5 more minutes, if you got a question, jump in. If it's something that you see, I can tell you right now, this guy right here, this is a jib cam, right? It can be a slider. You can get a slider as cheap as like $300-400 and get it moving. But know your why if you do that. Got to put an HDMI cord on there to go live. Okay. Some of the stuff I have sitting around, I use it in the field. So I figured out how to use it in the room since I'm in the room all the time. And that's what we do. But it's all about if I was in a mode and I wanted to do storytelling, right? You can do storytelling with the jib. I think, did I put it on there? Yep, there it is. You can do storytelling with this. Now notice it's a little smoky. And that is because there is a Pro Mist filter on there. That is the new in thing a lot of people are jumping on. It's not a new thing, but it's a new in thing. Okay, meaning that many of you have already been using mist filters before you were doing lives, right? I think it's real dope. Okay, it gives this little cloudy effect, and I got it on here. If you're doing storytelling, you play it in with the ability of Ecamm to switch cameras and move around. I think it's a great thing. Okay. Anybody, questions? Do you have cam link problems? That's one of the things I wanted to just narrow in on. Who's still having cam link problems? I saw someone having a problem, and I think they got it cleared up. I think it's Lionel. You might have got it cleared up. If you got it cleared up, let people know how you got it cleared up so that, others aren't struggling with trying to do it. A question I asked last week that I was curious of is who understands their why for multiple cameras, right? That's a big question, because if you don't understand your why, you'll freak yourself out trying to figure out, oh, I got Ecamm and I can use all these cameras. But if you don't know your why with it, you're just stressing yourself and not getting to the simple point of looking right here and speaking to your audience, whoever that is, just being right here and speaking to your audience. Okay. So I hope that helps. If you're there and you got any questions, let me know right here. Once again, I'll show you these things just work. Again, it's the Mac Studio, right? So you got Mac Studio and there's 7 cam links hooked up to this. Why it works flawless. And I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, I think 5 cameras going into a hubs, and they're off of Amazon. So I don't know if it's the brand of hub that I chose that just works, and it's not a powered hub. So I don't know if it's the brand of the hub and the hub just works. If it's the system, if it's something that I don't have in my system that maybe somebody else has in their system, I'm not really sure. Okay. But I like to narrow it down because I am helping other clients out, and some of them are using what you guys are using. I don't want to steer them down the wrong path. Okay. If you receive value from this one, I still keep some stars to show your appreciation. Listen, thank you very much. But there is a so in me, SOW, and I think that when you have the SOW, the W stands for the win in the sowing into others. So thank you very much. But listen, don't miss out opportunity, because if you got questions, I'll drop it in on you. Once again, I'll keep repeating the fact that here, quality camera, here, quality camera, here, quality camera, here, same thing, quality camera, but here, boom, cheap camera, here, cheap camera, here, cheap camera, okay? And all 3 of them work. Let's go with this one. That's for the table back there. When my clients are sitting back here at the desk, dropping a nugget right here, a gem, jewel. I like saying that. Alicio used to drop them on the screen. Shout out to Alicio. But this mic that I have, I just did a session after I got off with my brother James Hicks, I had to do a session here with clients, and the clients came in, and honestly, I got their mics over there. Those mics on that table right there sounding up to par with this. See that? MV7s, ladies and gentlemen, mics are less than half the price of the mic I'm talking on now. Put them right through the Rodecaster Pro. Yes, there is processing gear that I'm using to get to dial in the sound on this Apollo. I'm saying this because there are Ecammers that use Apollos, right? And it's not just me. It's others that, quiet as kept, they got Apollos and their mics sound great as well. But we all do our settings a little different. And so, as iron sharpens iron, we can help one another out. Thing I want to help with community guidelines, in a sense, is know who you're asking, right? Find out who's in the lane that you're in. The someone that, you know, I do what they do, in a sense, not somebody you don't really do what they do. I really don't care about certain things with presence. I'm not so polished. And because I'm not so polished, I actually use Ecamm in such a way that is a creative process, not a fixed professional process. For my clients, yes, I use it professionally. Cross the T's, dot the I's. But for me personally, and the stuff that when I go live, I use it to experiment, play around with it, have fun. You know, I make a mistake. Oops, you know, hey, let's go to the overhead camera. Oops, that wasn't an overhead camera. I don't care, right? It's just, you know, I use it on creativity. I like having fun with it, okay? And then you center it in for your clients. For the rest of us, some people, you just in Zoom. So if you just in Zoom, you know, you dial in on the overlays and figure that out. Don't stress yourself with the other things that you're not going to use, okay? That's just to keep Pels of help. Just dropping by to show some love, drop some words of encouragement, and to be here for questions. I don't see any questions. And so I guess in the Ecamm community, I'm looking at this. There are 6, and on YouTube, there are 3. Okay, so if there's no questions, if you have them, drop them, you know, in the comment section. I try to answer them. And I don't have a problem with just, you know, popping on live to demonstrate or to show whatever it is that you need to know that can help you with. So to those of you who are watching, you know, have a blessed night. Keep streaming, enjoy yourself. And something that James 6 and I were talking about today is when momentum gets lost. And there's a lot of people that we actually were looking for each other, and then some kind of way, I guess life, you know, the getting used to COVID came back in. But look, as creatives, keep the high, keep it going. It's fun. And I believe in when iron sharpens iron, it keeps you on your game, keeps you on your edge to see. So keep that energy flowing. And to the people that get a little scared of technology, let's figure this thing out. So shout out to Wardy, shout out to everybody who put up like, hey, I'm freaking out with this. All the way from Africa. Come on, Deborah, what is going on? I think you are just waking up. I hope you figured out the stuff that you need to figure out. I know we never linked or connected. And so I hope all is well over in them African streets, right? You know, I miss Africa. I want to get back down there to Pretoria and Port Elizabeth. That's where I was at when I was down there, in Joburg. So I want to get back down there. And so the parts that you're in, I hope all is well. Be blessed. And I hope Ecamm is representing well in those streets for you. Okay? All right, ladies and gentlemen, I'm out. And so I guess I'm practicing something on this stream deck, and that is be yourself. Okay? The music is ducked right now. Let's bring it up. And it just leaves on. Go ahead, do what you got to do, and be yourself. Let's skip to it. There we go. Here we go.
You can do what you gotta do. Go ahead and do what you gotta do.
So can I say we? Because it seems that I assume sometimes.
Peace out, y'all.
Sunset to sunrise.